What's going on with you guys? This is W. Williams 23, live and direct on Twitchy Twitch. So today's stream is basically about what's going on right now in the video game world and everything. There's so much going on, so much craziness. For example, Ubisoft is deleting your games that you have purchased from years ago. But yeah, it's just a lot of stuff going on, and sometimes it's good to talk about these things because we as gamers are very passionate about gaming, right? So it's good to talk about stuff like this, so we could always, hear someone's opinion, point of view, and stuff. That's the way it's supposed to be. I think about that a lot of time when you spend money on a game and the game itself no longer comes available to you after so many years. With PlayStation, there is the new PlayStation Plus tier system. And now they got this thing called PlayStation Stars, which is a free service that will be launching soon. Pretty much like a loyalty program within its own. It's just one of those things, things with the PlayStation is changing. Xbox, I don't really care too much about, I'm just being honest. Because it's Xbox. They don't have virtual reality games coming out. Xbox, you get some games. PlayStation, you get everything. Virtual reality and regular games, and it's just one of those things. We all have those games that we love so much, we like to play and everything. It's just one of those things, and sometimes we have to talk about our favorite games or our favorite memories of games and everything, our favorite arcade moments, our favorite everything. There's a lot of things we like to talk about as gamers. And me personally, I'm a QA manager for Incarcerated Games, startup game studio, startup indie game studio. So, but yeah, video games are, good for stress. Have you ever been stressed so much in your life where you want to say the heck with everything else? That's what video games come through. That's where they chime in and everything. Help you deal with your problems, your worries, or your stress, or anything like that. You know what I'm talking about? So, it is what it is when it comes down to video games. But the industry as a whole, the video game industry as a whole, and I ain't preaching to the choir on this one, as I'm playing my custom music in the background and everything. But it is should I say, I'm going to cut it down a little bit. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry, And sometimes when you're a consumer, you forget about all of that. You don't think about, what can I do to get into that field? What can I do what do I start? How do I get started? You don't think about it unless you really are passionate about it. My thing is, if you're really passionate about games, really passionate, really passionate. My point of view and suggestion would be to tell you that to find a program. Find a program that is good for you in college. Find a program you don't have a problem with completing and everything. Find a program that that it's going to be a wonderful experience learning for you, learning-wise. Oftentimes we forget about how we are perceived, or what's our vision, what's our goal, what's our plan, and everything else in between. You know what I'm talking about? it is what it is at the end of the day. Ain't no one can tell you how to live your life, how to pursue your goals, how to pursue your dreams and everything. You know what I'm saying? You know, when it's hot today. Have y'all seen the weather report? I know where I'm at, it's hot. Last month been nothing but triple digit weather. It be so hot to the point that the heat, when it's nighttime, you can still feel the heat on the cement, on the concrete now. Now that's hot. For me, you think the lava's boiling like that. What the word? I mean, let's just be real for a minute. I know y'all expect me to do some streaming on games and everything. I'll get to that in a minute. I've been having a little, controller drift issues. If you notice in my stream and everything, if you can notice that. Yes, they heat waves. You know how many heat waves there is in America? Think about if you living in like Arizona, what they got that triple digit, talking about 126 and up. Like down here, it was like 101, 100 plus, 105 heat wave last month. Talking about make you want to sit home, not do anything, but sit home, cut the AC on, watch some TV and everything because you don't want to go outside. Now, if you live in the country, man, you gotta deal with mosquitoes every day, 24/7. You go up in the woods, you a mosquito flying around trying to bite you in the neck. Boom, like, oh, what the? Except for the big. Like, it's just one of those things, and you want to have fun in the summertime. You really do. But when it's hot and you got mosquitoes flying around, you're like, I'll pass. I'll do my exercises at home and everything and stuff. Oh, wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, Alabama, woo, y'all have some hot weather. Lord knows. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to the point where I never thought that even Alaska would be so hot. Can get hot. Alaska is cold all the time. Never thought it would have high temperatures. It's just one of those things. I mean, all the stuff that we look at and we watch and everything, TV-wise, man, TV, oh man. A lot of people talking about Thor, Love and Thunder. I haven't seen it. Don't worry about the Nightbot thing. I just had to put that in there. But, it's been like, people talking about Thor, Love and Thunder. I'm like, I get it. I get why people are upset with it. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that. I gotta check my settings for the Nightbot thing. It's been a while since I updated it. But I saw what you're saying. I got a chance to read it. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Alright? But anyway, it's just what it is for some reason. Thor, Love and Thunder is one of those movies people expected so much from. I haven't seen it, but I see why people don't like it. Because of the directional approach and everything. I do have to enable it. I'm doing the studio thing and stuff like that. But it's a lot. It's a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm checking my chat settings right now and everything. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Cut on my camera for a little bit. Give me 1 second. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I know it's dark. Just give me a minute. And now I know it's like dark right now. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Where's the screen? Main screen. There you go. Alright, yeah. Let's see. Breathe changes my chat. Okay. I haven't done a just chat in a long time. It's been a while. I'm usually just I got to probably go for the extra thing. I'm usually just doing other things, but I'm gonna fix that. I gotta find a way to fix that and everything, But yeah, it's crazy. I think the funniest thing about movies is they always do something. They either capture our attention or make us wish we didn't spend money on it. Case in point, like a lot of people had a lot of gripe with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and everything, and I can understand from both sides of the fence. And stuff. So I can understand from both sides of the fence and everything. It's just one of those things. It's pretty much like how we see things. I think the main thing with movies, they're supposed to capture our attention. Okay, that's the main thing. They're supposed to capture our attention. When you're watching a heroic movie or a heroic TV show called, for example, they're supposed to follow a certain formula. Okay, like a certain formula is the hero's journey, for example, written by Joseph Campbell. If you don't know who that is, look it up. You can find on Wikipedia and everything. I mean, it's just one of those things. The hero's journey. You go, the call to action, all the temptations and stuff like that. I mean, it's just one of those things. People always talk about, oh wow, it's the hero's journey. And look at the villain's journey. The villain is more terrifying and more supporting than the hero. Or whatever. People will be like, the villain is more cooler than the hero. They wrote the villain cooler than the hero. For some reason it just depends on what happens and everything, and stuff. I gotta go to spectrumnightbot.com. I gotta look it up on Google and everything. It just goes to show you, everything about it and stuff. It's just crazy. I mean, I never thought about it from a movie point of view, But yeah, sometimes it just depends and everything. It just depends and stuff. For some reason it does. And everything. But one of the main things I can say is movies in general supposed to inspire you. My favorite, I got a lot of movies I like. I've seen over my life. I'm in my early 30s, so I ain't that old. But but the thing is, it's always been something with movies. I can tell you my favorite movie I like my favorite movies that I like and the ones I don't like. For example, my favorite movie series in sci-fi of all time is Star Wars. I like Star Trek. I like that how different and unique they are. But my favorite thing is my favorite sci-fi series, Star Wars. Now, the one I hate, I dislike. I strongly dislike it because of a certain fact. I got a chance to watch at a young age. I was 6-7 years old. Look, the innocent age. You know what I'm talking about? The innocent age. My favorite, the movie I dislike the most, sci-fi movie. This is probably gonna be one of y'all favorites. It's okay. If it's one of your favorites, I know. It's when someone talking about one that you don't like, one that they don't like, but end up being one of your favorites. Is Starship Troopers. I just couldn't. That movie mortified me as a child. I kid you not. It mortified me. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that, one of those movies. Every movie give you something. Give you something to look. If it's done, it's set up appropriately. Like I watched all the hero stuff. I haven't seen The Boys season 3 yet, so don't spoil it for me. I seen the trailer. What's supposed to happen. But yeah, it's just one of those things. The NBA season coming back on. They in the summer league and stuff. I'm a Laker fan. Go Lakers. I used to like the Bulls. At first for me it was the Bulls. Then it was the Lakers. Then it was the Cavaliers. Then it was the Nuggets. Then it was the Knicks. Then I just watched the teams that that's just curious to me to watching. I'm not a Warriors fan, but I respect the Warriors. The pedigree, their attention to detail, they run and gun shooting offense. You know, I respect all of that and everything because every team needs something different. But right now, I'm a Laker fan. My favorite ball player growing up was Michael Jordan. Before I knew everything else and everything, his 6 rings, 6 finals, and all the other stuff. My favorite Michael Jordan. But a lot of things, you know, when you're growing up. See, back in the day, I wanted to be a professional basketball player when I was growing up. Kid you not, I saw Michael Jordan in the NBA. I said, I wanted to be like Michael Jordan. I want the shoe sign deal, and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you're me, you see a lot of stuff you would like to be one day. You know, so it's just one of those things to go to show you that sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to work out. You find yourself in a better path, in a better situation, and sometimes some days are easier than others. That's life. You know, one of my favorite things about the Lakers, besides LeBron James and everything, you know, they are historically a dominant team from Magic days up to now. Now, up to now, they still got a little bit more work to do. I was disappointed with the Lakers this year. They didn't even make it to the finals. Y'all Lakers, y'all got to do better. You know, and it's just one of those things. I mean, a lot of people don't think about it like that. I look at the sports, I look at the NBA draft and everything, you know, trying to say, oh, who's going to do this? Who's going to, you know, the NFL coming up soon. I don't have a favorite NFL team. I thought when Tom Brady was supposed to retire, he decided to come back in. I'm like, oh, crap. Tom Brady need to go. He got his rings. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, when you retire, you're supposed to retire. Hey, appreciate it though. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. You know, it's just one of those things. You know, it's just one of those crazy things. I mean, we sit here, we think about stuff like that, and everything. It just depends. Like, I'm in my Nightbot now. I'm gonna disable some stuff for a little bit. I'm gonna just let's see, spam protection. I'm gonna disable it or right now. It is what it is, though. You know, if you look at in the early days of comic books, I'm talking about comic books. I talk about a whole lot of stuff. You know, on my stream I be singing or whatever. It's just me. Sometimes I keep the mute. I mute the button on my controller and everything, and I double mute because I don't want to be hearing no little kid in my ear talking, hey, how we do this? Hey, how we do that? You need to do this. What are you doing? What are you doing? What the way you doing? You know what I'm saying? So it just crazy things, you know, and I just think, you know, sometimes we always have to understand certain things so we can put stuff together and understand people and stuff like that and everything, you know. It's stuff like that, you know, and I mean, sometimes you don't even know something, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy right now. It's hot. Sometimes you wonder when it's really gonna get cold. You know, we living in the area, in the age where COVID is popping up, it's popping down, it's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down. The numbers are up, the numbers are down, the numbers are up, and the numbers are down. You know, it's just one of those things that sometimes I always have to remember that, you know, things happen for a reason. Life happens, things happen. We all go through things, right? Let's be real for a minute. How many times you ever went to the job you didn't like and want to tell them, look, I quit? But deep down, you can't really quit. That's your only income. It's your only source of income, right? I mean, so many times you think about it like that. So, like, musical events for me, you know, it just depends. So I watched the BET Awards this year. It was alright. I had some stuff I liked and some stuff I didn't like. You know, it's just one of those things. You know, people always talk about it and everything. So it just happens. You know, I think a lot of things we realize in this world is changing who we are, is changing our perspective on people You know, every time something goes bad, you know, it's on CNN, breaking news, stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, it's crazy. But, you know, I'm going to go back to comics real quick. In the early days of comic books, there was stuff they would put out, they were able to put out. Now, some of this, now, if they put out anything like they did back in the day, they couldn't do it. Because the times changed and everything. Like, for example, Superman. One of the most notable, overpowered, one of my favorite characters in the DC universe. You know, his son, you know, people had to feel a certain kind of way when it came down to his son and everything. And I honestly, my point on that is, look, it is what it is. Because if you write in the comic, you know, you gonna, and they are okay with everything, right? If they are okay with it, then with the decision, you got really nothing to worry about. Don't get me wrong, I was kind of shocked too. I was like, I was saying to myself, why would they do Superman's kid like that? You know what I'm talking about? Why would they do his kid like that? The same thing with Tim Drake. For all we know, Tim Drake was straight, right? Then they switched it up on us. Arkham Knight, Tim Drake was marrying Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. You know, and now they done changed it up on him and everything. I understand representation. Am I saying it right? Representation? Yeah. I understand they want to do all the representations. I get all that, you know. We don't like it, we gotta live with it and deal with it, you know what I'm talking about? But yeah, it's just crazy, you know. I mean, honestly, like, my point is, leave certain characters alone. So, like, when it comes down to video games and comic books, now I'm doing a whole nother topic. When it comes down to video games and comic books, it's very hard not to get, you know, feel a certain kind of way. You know, so whereas for example, Gotham Knights. The Gotham Knights synopsis of Batman being dead, that idea came years ago. I don't know if y'all remember, there was a fan trailer that debuted around 2003, 2004, I believe. I may be wrong. But around that time, it called Grayson. And Grayson dealt with the same thing. You know, it dealt with the same thing. So Grayson dealt with the fact that Batman is dead, right? So Batman being dead, and then the main character is, you know, Robin, Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon are married. The Superman is there, probably the other Justice League members and stuff like that. The villains are back. The Joker, more importantly, the Joker and everything. You know, that idea, I felt like someone stole that idea. Because it came, and then they used it. They used the idea in Gotham Knights. When the original folks came out with the idea back in the early 2000s, because they showed it at a Comic-Con. And, I mean, it's honestly, it's messed up. Now, they can't get any royalties or none of that stuff, but honestly, it is it's messed up. I mean, I'm just keeping it real, being honest. This is my take on things. You know, it's just one of those deals. You know, sometimes you wonder about anything and everything. You know, and I think that, you know, as the comic books change and everything, you get new indie comics and stuff. It just depends on the brand and the audience, because the audience matters, the community matters. And we talk about community, right? In the video game world, the video game community and every different game, there are some toxic communities. I can go on GTA right now and get it blown up for no reason because it's part of the game. And I'm doing a mission or something. Just people want to be try-harders to them, right? So it's just one of those things that that gamers deal with. And controller drift. Lord knows the controller drift is very complicated and very aggravating. You know, and I mean, it's just one of those things. You just sometimes it's crazy. You know, like right now, what's going on with Ubisoft? Let's talk about Ubisoft for a minute. I was talking about them earlier. In everything. Go to Google, just Google it real quick. See what's going on with Ubisoft. They're taking away your games now. They want to take away your games that you spent money on years ago. I'm just going to Google it real quick. Ubisoft taking away games. So, here it is. The backstory, this is according to PCGamer.com. Ubisoft announced that it would be shutting off online support for a selection of games between 2009 and 2019. Now, why would they do that? 2009, 2019, there's some new, Ubisoft has some good games and everything. And now, you know, and it gets to the point where, you know, it's crazy. So they're pulling online support from older games. Imagine getting into a game, you get ready to play it, and now the online support is gone. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on now. That don't make no kind of sense. Something about that milk ain't clean. Something about that milk ain't right. Like, come on, like, really, seriously. I mean, honestly, sometimes I ask myself, okay, where is the video game industry going? You want to talk about console wars? We're gonna have a console war every 10 years almost. I kid you not. First, we had the arcade. All the arcade cabinets. And we had some little consoles, you know, little game consoles. The old game consoles before they got really advanced. You know, everybody was trying to do their thing. Nintendo, Sega, Sony, Nintendo. You know, and now Sega is at the game as far as consoles go. They're making games, but they don't have no console out right now. If they ever come out with something called the Sega Genesis 5000, got Blu-ray and CD features that no one has ever seen. Yeah, they gonna hype you up for it. They really gonna hype you up for it. You know, I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, people always talk about it, you know, and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, man, only why? That's like it's a good line from the Matrix series, when Agent Smith talking to Mr. Anderson, talking to Neo. Why, Mr. Anderson? Why, Mr. Anderson? Why do you persist? Why do you persist? What's the point? You hope it's hopeless. And then, you know, the comment line he says, because I choose to. And it really gets on his skin. And then the fight is on. We all know how that is. But it's just one of those things. I mean, like, as far as games go, I'm happy that, you know, God of War fans are getting another God of War game. You know, I'm happy for that. I mean, my favorite video game character right now, I got too many. It's a long list. My first favorite video game character was Jax from Mortal Kombat. Jax. By the metal quadro strength by biomechanic arms, bionic arms, if you should say the least. But one of my favorite characters, and a lot of people, not really feeling the Marvel universe right now. You know why? Because of the movie they got coming out. They have in the works, and some they have already done. Now they had a few weak movies now. Iron Man 3 was a week behind movie. Not the worst, but it was weak. The Avengers first one, Avengers is Ultron, Avengers Infinity War, and the Endgame, in my opinion, was the best Avengers movies. They were the best ones out of the whole Marvel and everything. And under that, for me, would be Captain America Civil War. Now that right there put a lot of people on their toes. Oh, now we got the Civil War going on. Oh, shucks now. Black Widow being a double agent. She on both sides of everything. Oh, shucks now. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Crazy. Oh, shucks. Captain America fighting Iron Man. Oh, shucks. But the one in the comic book, if you read the original Civil War, it had heroes and villains on Cap's side and Iron Man's side. And then they did another Civil War. I think the second one they did with War Machine dying, Rhodey dying. So it's just one of those things. I mean, a lot of people like the comics better, the way it's done in the comics. Now I like Marvel and DC. I like freaking on Marvel's side, I like Captain America, Iron Man, Vision, Quicksilver, Falcon, Winter Soldier, the Hulk, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Black Panther, of course, Wakanda Forever. Those and a lot of and other characters. On the Marvel side, on the DC side of things, I like Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Flash, Wonder Woman, Green Arrow, Black Canary, Martian Manhunter, Cyborg, Dr. Manhattan, and others. I can't name them all. The Flash, Green Lantern, of course. Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Hood, Tim Drake, before they changed him up and everything. Batwing, which is the first iteration of Batwing. I think his name is David Zabimbi. I think I'm saying it right or wrong. One of the two. And Luke Fox version of Batwing. And then there's other characters, Supergirl, even Super. I just wish when they were doing the Supergirl series, I like Legends of Tomorrow. Legends of Tomorrow is cool too, but when they were doing the Supergirl series, I just wish they had better writers. I wish they had better writers and everything. And then the DCEU is in a mess. Let's just be real. The best movie they ever came out was Man of Steel, the Justice League, Batman vs Superman, Aquaman, and Shazam, and Wonder Woman. We could argue and debate that the second one, it was okay, but not as good as the first one. If I go back to Star Wars again, I like everything Star Wars related. I like the books, the comics, and everything. I don't have a lot of people have a problem with Rey, the Rey character, and from the Force Awakens up to the Rise of Skywalker. Because they always say she's how I put it, according to other YouTubers, they say she's a Mary Sue character. I don't have no problem with Rey. Rey's cool. The only character in the Star Wars universe, they didn't do any justice. It didn't continue his legacy. His character arc was Finn. Finn deserved better. You know what I'm talking about? Finn deserved better. Finn was my character I was hoping to see become a Jedi. Because there's never been another Jedi, African American Jedi, since Mace Windu and Adi Gali. I think I said her name right. You know, and Finn was the prime character to be a Jedi in my book. I understand Rey, who don't know who her family is. Finn was taken away from his family. You know, I mean, I'm like I say, it's always go back to the story arc of the character. It's just one of those things. I mean, it's crazy. I sit there and I think about it all the time. Why? You know, and it's one of those things. Sometimes we think about these characters and we see ourselves in these characters. Finn in The Last Jedi about to do the self-sacrifice thing. I won't let them win! I won't let them win! You know, I mean, you ever think about it? Sometimes you think about it and it'll be like, man, he's really pissed off at the First Order that he's willing to self-sacrifice himself. And you can't blame him. I mean, even in the Star Trek universe, if you've seen the last Star Trek movie, what's it called? What was it called? I think it was called Star Trek Nemesis. Let me look that up. So that's the one that Data sacrificed himself. Now, out of all the Star Trek characters I only like a few. Kirk, Spock, Jean-Luc Picard, Captain Benjamin Sisko. I think I'm saying his name right. Tuvok, he's alright, he cool. Even the female captain, Captain Janeway, you know, she alright. You know what I'm saying? But something about Commander Data, the only android I know who will sacrifice himself in that movie. I mean, an android. He ain't human. He's like an android. You say he's a cyborg, but I'm going to say he's an android. It's just one of those things. I mean, he sacrificed himself. I think, let me look at that movie. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that movie. What's the name of it? It's Star Trek Nemesis. Y'all can comment in the chat if to help me out here. But I think it's called Star Trek Nemesis. Let me see. I mean, if I was in charge of the DC universe, you best believe they'll be on track. Y'all will see a cyborg. Y'all will see every character that hasn't got a shot in the film. I would set up everything so perfectly. And even in the Batman, if I did Batman, if I did it, if I ever got a chance to do a Batman movie, you would see all of his sidekicks. Like either Batman 1, you see his first sidekick. Batman 2, you see the second one. Batman 3, you see the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, or whatever. And then you see the other characters and everything. So if I did Batman would have at least 10 movies. And then the final movie would be Batman Battle for Gotham. That means Batman and all his sidekicks, even from Batman Incorporated, all them people, and all the villains on one side of the corner, and Batman and his allies on the other side of the corner. It'd be called Batman Battle for Gotham. If I ever got a chance I ever did a DC movie, if I did the whole Batman universe. You know, I do the same thing, and that way you get more extra layers to Batman and stuff. You know, I'll even do the same thing with Superman. I'll give Superman 10 movies. Everybody gonna get more than 3 movies. If I ever did DC Universe, they will get, every character will get more than 3 movies. I mean, I'm digging the Superman and Lois thing, man. Y'all, Superman and Lois right now, that series, oh my gosh, man. I think it's called Star Trek Nemesis. Yeah, Star Trek Nemesis. That's the one where Data sacrificed himself. You know, but yeah, if I was doing the whole DC universe, every character would get at least 10 movies. At least. That way, it will lead up into Justice League. Justice League will probably have like 10. All the characters will get more than 3 movies. For example, let's say, okay, and then one of them will get more than 3 movies. Because what I would do the Trinity movie. I would do a DC Trinity movie. If I ever directed, if I did the whole Batman series from scratch, the whole DC universe from scratch, you will receive a DC Trinity movie for the Justice League. And before the Trinity movie, you will receive World Finest. So you will see World Finest, DC Trinity, then the Justice League. I have put all the major characters in there. So there's so many characters to choose from as villains. So if I put all the villains in there that the Justice League ever faced, you know, and then you got the Teen Titans and then you got Teen Titans and the Young Justice. All of them will have live action movies. You know, and then when you finish all them movies, you have another, and then it'll go into Justice League International and everything, and new characters and stuff like that. Heck, even the Super Pets will have a live action movie. Call it Justice League Super Pets. Whatever Super Pets there are left. You know, I mean, honestly, you have to really give the people what they want. People wanted Finn to be a Jedi. I think if I end up, if it's God's will, and I end up doing a Star Wars movie, a Star Wars series, I'm gonna tell you something. I would choose Finn, do a whole series on Finn, and give Finn the character arc he deserves. He deserves to be a Jedi. He's Force sensitive. We all know that now. Give Finn the opportunity to be a Jedi, get him trained and stuff. Then when the Star Wars episode 10 through 12 roll around, you know, Finn will be a Jedi, ready for action. And also, in the Finn series, what I would do, I would also have, it'll be like this. Rey, Finn, Mace Windu. Surprise y'all. Have Finn, Rey, Mace Windu, and have the Force Ghosts of Yoda, Anakin, Kylo Ren, just those 3, and Obi-Wan, of course. The Force Ghosts of Obi-Wan. Those 4 Force Ghosts. So we can see Luke and Mace Windu exchange words, and then we can see Luke and then Mace Windu see Mace Windu and Anakin exchange some words, and Ben Solo exchange words with with Finn and everything, stuff like that, and that whole dynamic, and then Mace Windu will end up training, doing extra training. So like, and because Yoda will appear in this whole thing as well. This is how I would do it if I got a chance to do something like this to start with, right? So Yoda will appear, and he will speak to Mace Windu, and to get Mace Windu up to speed on what's really going on, right? So in that process, it will be like he'll get him up to speed, and then Yoda will also tell Mace Windu, will teach him how to become one with the Force, and tell him to get a new arm, something like that, so he can be able to fight again. So and everything. So they'll give Mace Windu purpose. So Mace Windu, and so Mace Windu will Yoda tell Mace Windu that Rey is Rey Palpatine, and in the middle throw Mace Windu for a flip, for a curveball, and everything. So what's going to happen is, if I ever got a chance to do it, what will happen is Rey and Mace Windu and Rey will do a duel to see how is he in the Force and everything, and then Mace Windu will train Rey more on how to use the Force, mastering her darkness. Because that's the only thing about Rey. She's a Palpatine, and she got Force lightning. So in this whole thing, Mace Windu would train Rey how to master that in lightsaber combat and everything, and he will teach her how to do his system. And also in that process, Rey and Mace Windu will train Finn. See what I'm talking about? And then that way, Finn will become a strong Jedi, strong with the Force. Let go and everything. Let go and use the Force. You know what I'm talking about? So that's how that would go if I ever did it. But yeah, what is it? 9:02. So in the next hour, well, in a few minutes from now, I'm gonna stream a game, deal with and everything. I'm gonna stream the arcade getting game. I'm liking that game. I'm feeling that game. And yeah. I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. I appreciate those who took time out their busy lives to talk to me and watch the stream. I appreciate those. I appreciate my followers. I appreciate your support and everything. Just a little bit in all. I'm just saying, listen. If you like what you see in the Stream Element store, buy it. I want to say this at the end. And my live shoes, I know they're expensive, but I don't make the prices. If you're interested in buy them, the catch is 7 pre-orders, and they will be available for everybody that's after 7 people pre-order. Now I haven't launched any of my old ones yet. I haven't relaunched them yet, but I want to get them out there for people because I did that for you guys. The shoe thing, I did it for y'all. So on my channel, you can buy shoes and all the other stuff. So support your boy. And everything that I'm coming out with or will come out with in the future, you will see it. And everything. But yeah, this is W Williams 23 live and direct on Twitch. It's Twitch. Live and direct on Twitch. I see you guys